A very wonderful morning to all the dazzling darlings. Yes, welcome to another English online class. This is Nida ma'am with you. So how are you, my darlings? I hope that you are all keeping fine, safe and good. So in today's class, we are going to start with a new chapter from your snapshots. Okay, and the name of the chapter is Albert Einstein at School. So, we all know who Albert Einstein is. I need not go into the details of the great phenomena, genius, the brilliant man, Albert Einstein. Of course, his theory of relativity is something what you are going to crack out this year, the science students. Apart from that, whatever inventions, discoveries he has made in the field of science is all affecting our normal life in a great manner. Albert Einstein is also a person who had spent his later years of life propagating world peace and using science for the betterment of the people. So he is not only a great scientist but also a great humanitarian. So he said that science should not be used for making destructive things like bombs and missiles and many other kinds of things which can destroy nature. In fact, he wanted science to be used or technology to be used for the welfare of the people and the welfare of the world. Of course, there is always a talk on whether the science is used in the right manner or not. Even now also we know that scientists are using science for destroying nature, for personal needs, for fulfilling personal greed and many such things. So here we are going to learn about Albert Einstein when he was in his school. So here when we say school, we do not mean that in his primary classes. Of course, in his primary classes it is told that he was a boy who did not have any friends. So maybe that is a peculiarity of genius people. He was very alone and he used to talk to himself a lot, and he had a problem of stammering. Stammering means having difficulty in talking. So he did not have much friends, and even in his school time his teacher used to say that he is a very stupid and a dull kind of a child. But his mother was having great trust in Albert Einstein, and she had taken a lot of effort to bring changes in him. And she believed that this child would grow up to become a genius. Now in this lesson we are going to speak about Albert Einstein when he was in his high school, probably in his +1, +2 classes, your age. So what are the characteristics of teenagers? Of course, they are very inquisitive, they are very energetic kind of a children. Okay, so they have got a lot of questions to ask. When you are moving from your childhood to your adulthood, you are having a lot of doubts. You are thinking why this is happening in this manner. So those kinds of characteristics you can find in Albert Einstein also. So our chapter starts with a very typical and a very common kind of a classroom that we have. A classroom which we have seen many times over and over again. Here his history teacher is asking him a question, and very calmly Albert is giving the answer, I don't know. So a common classroom scenario, that's what I said. Teacher asks questions, students stand up and say, I don't know. So that answer he was also giving. Teacher gets angry and asks, why you don't know? So he tells like, I don't know. So that kind of a classroom we can see. Let us just peep into his classroom and see what's happening over there. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Braun. No, sir, replied with his usual unthinking honesty. Why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. Mr. Brown was speechless for a few minutes. So that is the classroom that we have entered. There is some kind of a rift, a disagreement happening between the teacher and the child over here. History teacher, Mr. Brown, is asking him the year in which the Prussians defeated the French. He tells like, I don't know. Teacher tells that, see, you have been told many times. How come you cannot remember it? He tells, I forgot. A very common answer. I forgot. So he tells, why are you not trying to remember it or learn it by heart? So Albert said, what is the use of learning the dates by heart? Dates are available in the books. Whenever you want to refer to something, you can look at the book and find it out. Why does one have to remember all these dates? That's what I said, inquisitive nature, questioning nature of the teenagers. That is what you find in Albert Einstein. Then there is a conversation going on between his history teacher and Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, however, is very honest in giving the answer. Now he does not stand there and find excuses by telling that my mother was feeling ill yesterday. The electricity was not there, so I could not study. My father did not bring money, so I was feeling hungry. There was no food to eat, so I could not study. So those kinds of excuses he does not come up with. He stands erect and questions the teacher upon his thoughts on education. A very important question from this lesson is, what is Albert Einstein's thoughts on education? Further in their conversation, you find that the history teacher is asking him, how come you are having a difference on opinion on learning the dates? It does not make any importance in learning all these dates and events by heart. These are all well written by the historians or the people who are specialists in it. All the theory part of it is available in the books. You can always go to a library and refer them and use it. Now, what does Einstein mean by education? He tells that the real purpose or the aim of education is to make the children think, question. Now he says that I would be more interested to know why the soldiers went for the war. What is the reason for a war to happen there? Ideas. He uses the word ideas. Reasons are what we need to find out. Why do we need to know the reason? We need to know the reason so that we know that because of this reason, so and so thing happened. Now, if that thing that has happened is good or bad, we need to analyze it. If it is good, we can use the same reason to continue that goodness. If it is bad, we can understand that because of this reason something bad has happened, so we can prevent that reason from happening. So, analyzing power, examining power, judging power, this is what children need to understand or develop, and the teachers need to cultivate in the children. So that is what Einstein means by education. So he is asking his history teacher, why are you not teaching us all these things? Why are you making us simply mug up by heart and learn by memory all these dates and events and all these things? These are all very useless things. It is not going to make any difference in us. But if we are able to think and understand why this has happened in my life, so if we are able to analyze, then we will be able to know, okay, this has happened, so result is this, so we can continue this or cannot continue this. So that kind of analyzing power should be there in the children. However, his history teacher, being a very typical history teacher, tells like all this nonsense and rubbish is not allowed in our syllabus or in our curriculum. You are supposed to learn these dates by heart. If you are unable to do it, you may walk out of the classroom. The usual punishment is given to him and he is thrown out of the class. He feels very upset and he comes back to his room. So here what has happened is that his entire family has moved to Milan in Italy. Okay, they've moved to a city in Italy and his parents are settled over there. Since Albert had to continue his education, he was staying back in Germany in Munich. So he was staying back over there. And then what happens? Because his family has shifted to Italy, he is living in a rented apartment, okay, as a lodging. It's not really an apartment. He is staying in a room which is on rent. So this is in the slum area of Germany, because his father does not have much money to support him. Education already he is paying fees, so for rent also he does not have much money to give him. So he is living in a slum area. Okay? Slum area means the area where all the poor people are living. So he is living in a slum area and in a poor people's house. He is living in a slum area and he is living with very little rent money to be paid in a room. Now that area is filled with poor people, so the kind of attitude from that people, there is a lot of people are coming and fighting over there, uncultured and uneducated people. So every day the landlady used to beat her children and the children would be shouting and screaming over there. Every Saturday her husband came home from work. He is working somewhere far away, so he came home and he was drunk and he used to beat up the wife and children. So those kinds of violence and everything was there. Even the slum area was filled with dirt and food was also not very proper. So altogether everything of this made Albert Einstein feel very depressed and very sad. So he expresses his sorrow or his problems to his best friend Yuri. Now Yuri is staying in a college hostel or school hostel rather. He is staying in a school hostel and he tells like, even though those people are poor, at least they are better than the rich people. Now what is the thing with the rich people? He tells that the rich people are so arrogant and there is so much of violence in the school hostel that daily the children are moving up in gangs, fighting with each other, even killing each other. So he tells like last week there was a duel. Duel means fight, and one of the child got killed. And since the person who killed him, the child who killed him, came from a very influential and a rich family, definitely the police is not going to take case. He is going to get bribed and this child is going to stay without getting arrested or having any punishment. So this is going to continue. Okay. So the ruling of the atrocities of the rich people are seen in the school hostel, which is completely unbearable. So they discuss their problems in the similar way, and Albert Einstein expresses his concern of passing out that year. He tells like, I don't think I'm ever going to pass out, because most of the time he's standing outside the class. You just saw how he is behaving with his teachers. So he questions them. He does not like to learn things on by heart. He finds it very difficult to memorize things. He has got his own ideas of education. So he tells like, I don't think the teachers are going to give me any internal marks or make me pass in the exam. So he has got this great worry of whether he is going to get a school diploma, simply meaning that pass out from school. He also says or expresses this concern to his cousin Elsa. But Elsa tries to motivate him or tries to make him feel happy by saying that this is all very simple, you are just thinking too much. That's a problem with you. Don't think too much, just learn everything by heart. Whatever is there in your textbook and notebook, just learn it by heart and you will be able to pass it. So she also tells like even dumber children, okay, are able to pass school. So what about you? You are such an intelligent person. Just learn everything by heart and you will be able to pass. Now Albert says that is the problem that I have. I cannot learn anything by heart or memorize them. I don't have that ability to memorize things. For him, he needs to understand things, concepts. He needs to understand them and work it out on his own. So there is no freedom for his individuality or his thinking skills over there. He wants to exhibit his thinking skills, which is not possible in the school. School is very strict with its rules and regulations, and he is unable to follow these rules and regulations. So he finds that I have a difficulty in memorizing things. So there is a conversation between Elsa and Albert, and Elsa is trying to encourage him to learn things by heart, but Albert is unable to do that. He tells like he is more interested in science, and he tells like there is not much development or classes for science in his school. So like that he is expressing his concerns to Elsa. Apart from science, his interest in science, the writer tells like Albert is also interested in music. So he used to play violin. His mother had taught him to play violin. That also he is unable to practice because, like I said, the landlady is always beating up the children are howling and crying. So he does not get that happy atmosphere to play violin. So that is also a sorrow that he is having. Again, there is an incident told over here where he is meeting his friend Yuri, and this time he has thought about his problems. He has analyzed his problems and he has kind of found a solution for it. So he tells like, see, I don't feel any good by studying in the school in Munich over here. He wants to go to his parents in Milan. So there are good universities or good schooling in Milan. Milan is, or in Italy, there is still more advanced kind of learning. In Germany, the kind of schooling is very rigid, very strict, very disciplinarian kind. But in Milan, it is not like that. There is more freedom of thought and expression over there. So he wants to go to Milan to study. But for that, he needs to get a TC, a transfer certificate from the school. And to get a transfer certificate, he needs to provide some real reason for the school to provide him a transfer certificate. So he's discussing all this with Yuri, and he says that this is his plan. He wants to go to Milan to continue his studies. So how does Albert Einstein plan to get a transfer certificate from his school? What are his ideas? We will discuss all this in our next class. So I hope you have understood the content what I have taught today. Two important questions from this content is that one is Albert's theory of education, and second is about his lodging, the poor condition that he was living in. A 2-mark question can be asked from these two sections. Read the lesson carefully and properly and learn the notes. So till we meet again, I hope you all stay safe and good. Be good children. Stay happy. Thank you.